For those of you that don't already know, geez, I just fell. We are having a hurricane currently here in Florida. What this means for me is no motorcycle riding. So I can't ride this one, I can't ride this one, and I definitely can't ride that one. And since we're forced to sit here and wait out the storm, I'm gonna take advantage of this and tell you guys the story of Haley's bike.
What is this? What is this?
It's your motorcycle.
I'm so excited to ride this.
Well, the bike ran extremely well. Getting it started was a different story. You can either bump start it, which is running and then jumping on the bike, dumping it in first gear and dumping out the clutch. That's always a relaxing process. The second way was a little bit more elegant. You know, we gotta have some class. We would take a screwdriver and jam it into the starter solenoid. After a few months of bump starting it and bypassing the starter solenoid, I was getting tired of it, so we tore into the wiring. We replaced the wires that went from Haley's battery terminal to her actual starter solenoid right here. It still is not starting and the starter is not engaging at all. So we have deduced with zero knowledge that it is the starter solenoid. It was not. It was not the... No. After that failure, life got a hold of us, we ended up moving and a ton of stuff happened and the S40 just sat. That was until recently when I took it over to Rhino Motorsports to have an expert actually look at it. I know you said you already had a monster, but I brought you another one.
One is going to be ground, one is going to be power. So we can check the ground by cutting power on one end, so we know the ground is good. And what we're missing from the whole thing is power on the yellow line.
But no power is coming to that.
No power is coming to that, so we got to figure out where it's supposed to come from. Start at the problem and kind of work our way back. So we know we need to power the starter solenoid. It's got ground, but it never receives its power. So we got to work our way back from there. So from there, it goes to this decompression solenoid. From there, it gets power from the clutch switch. It doesn't get power there. The power to the clutch switch comes from the starter switch, starter button. Okay, so we got power there.
Dude, you're good. What the heck?
Right, I'm holding the starter solenoid, nothing's happening, right?
That's how I'll tell her to start it from now on. Just hold down the starter button and bend the wire.
So Suzuki doesn't tell you about this like in their service manuals and stuff, but you can actually take the switch out of the housing. I'm gonna clean it. Sometimes you get some corrosion in there, you get some buildup. Two sets of contacts, right? So when it's sitting regular, these two are making contact through that brass piece. And when you push the button, it slides over, it should make the contact for those two. Connect the white and green.
It's very simple. That's funny. Took the whole thing apart.
So inside of that switch, there's a little contact and there's a spring underneath of it. It was stuck down. So I cleaned that whole groove out, dielectric grease, so now it actually springs back up.
This is music to my ears. For real, thank you so much. Now that the wiring's all wrapped up, thank you Rhino Motorsports for that again. We need to change out her brake pads because they are squeaking super bad. And the back one is something I've never done before. That's drum brakes, so that'll be interesting. I think it's simple, but we got the things right here. Drum brake pads, and then we got the regular brake pads. So let's get cracking into this. I'm probably going to do some fluid up front and the back as well, so let's go. Well, while I wasn't filming, I decided to flick carb cleaner and, well, a mixture of carb cleaner and brake cleaner into my eyeball, so wear glasses.
Was I really not recording that whole time?
Don't get me too much. I don't want to be a douche.
You are a douche.
go. Good morning. It's a completely new day. It's just the next day. So my eye, I don't know if you can see this. My eye's still having a little bit of irritation, but it's a lot better than yesterday. And I went to bed and my vision was extremely blurry, as you'd expect if you sprayed carb cleaner in your own eye. Look at how the camera's focused. There we go, that's a lot better. Either way, yeah, yesterday I was actually really concerned that I wasn't going to be able to see out of the eye, but fortunately today, vision's a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. So wiring is done, front brakes are all bled and changed out, and that's all unseized. And now we're gonna move on to the back, which is something I've never actually done before. Drum brakes, from what I've gathered by looking at it, I haven't done any research, it looks like it's all spring. Like it looks like it's a cable, just like a clutch cable or, you know, a throttle cable. So I know what I need to accomplish right now. I just need to make sure I use glasses this time and don't spray carb cleaner in my eyes. What I like to do is take carb cleaner and direct And now, finally, a year and change later, the bike is running and actually working properly. Because it sat for so long, I'm gonna have to tear the carb out, and I can never leave anything alone, so I'm sure we're gonna do a lot more, including turn signals and a whole slew of customizable things to this bike. But unfortunately, because of this storm, all of that is gonna have to wait. I'm Aaron, this is Tardy Productions, and I'll see you guys next week.